Well, welcome to our next training session. I'm Corne, and I'm going to speak to you about how to manage your business to make sure that it runs successfully. Up until now, you have recruited some amazing people into your team. You have really gone out there to brand yourself, and you have got a big dream over what you want this business to bring you. But one of the key factors in our business is to have a successful managed office. If you can understand how important this part of your business is. And you can start implementing a couple of key features into your daily routine and into your weekly routine and the way you address the things in your business. I truly do believe that you can stand out from the rest. I have seen how people have recruited the most amazing people, but just to lose them because they are unorganized. And that is definitely not something that you want to happen. So, just a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Destiny Mentor. I am in Springs. It's a little mining town on the far east Rand, and I work honey full time. So, as I'm giving you the next two slides as an overview of my life, I'm not expecting you to do this, but I want you to see how I structure my business, and then you find in between the way that works for you the best. So, I work Monday to Friday, I work 9 to 5, and sometimes even outside those hours. On Saturdays, most of the time, I do work, as those are my days that I can interact with my team. I like to take time for myself. I like to make sure that my business is always supported. So I never switch my phone off. And even when there is a crisis in my life, I do ensure that my business is taken care of first before I then attend to something that might take me out of my office for 1 or 2 or 3 days. I do make sure that I rest and I plan my weeks ahead. And one of the things that I want you to know is that regardless of how serious I am about my business and how serious many of the mentors in this region are about their businesses, it is about having balance. I really want to make sure that I enjoy my life. I have not left one job to come and work like a slave in another. And therefore, what I like about this business is the fact that I can plan the business to make sure that I am benefited on all the different levels. I like to challenge myself. I like to serve my community, and I like to do hobbies. I'm very passionate about doing arts things. So there's a lot of hobbies that I like to plan inside of my life. Planning is definitely the key. It will save you time and it puts you in control. Now, I don't know if you are like me, but I like to know exactly when things are going to happen. It gives me time to carefully plan and it gives me the opportunity to feel in control. It also allows me to think ahead. I am a mom of 4 children, and even though two of them has already left the nest, it has caused me to relook at the way I did my life because I used to be a very creative mom, and we just winged it. But I very soon in my business started to realize as my business grew and as the family grew, that winging it is not going to serve me very well. It just put me into a lot of stress. And I think even at the times that we are in, and even if you are having a full day job, then planning will definitely be your secret weapon. Systems in place will help me to create order. It helps me to remember things because you would not believe how quickly time passes and you were still planning to do that specific training session. So I like to put things in place that will not only set me up for success, but also to make sure that I remember to do all the important things. If you don't manage your time successfully, it will leave you tired and frustrated. And that is definitely not my wish for you. I spend time on a weekly basis, mostly on a Sunday afternoon, and usually in the late afternoon when the whole household comes to a little bit of a standstill. And I take my planner for the week and I make sure that I know what is my family responsibilities for the week. And then I start to plan. And I plan my business around my personal life. And that is my advantage. So I would look and see at what is the things that I need to do for my children during the week. Maybe there's some items that comes up that I would like to attend, or maybe just places I want to be at. And then I plan my business around it. So it's not just about working a 9 to 5 job. but it's about working all the aspects of my business rather than working hours. I will be very honest with you. I'm telling you, I'm working 9 to 5, but most of the days by 1 o'clock, by 2 o'clock, I'm done because then I start collecting my kids, and that's part of my job because I'm a mom first, and then I'm a businesswoman, and then I have friends, and I've got a husband, and I've got family, and like I said, I've got hobbies that I want to do. So I plan my things, and I make sure that I've got everything um, taken care of through planning properly. I'm usually sitting with my planner and I write down how I'm tracking on my monthly goals. So I'm looking at this aspect of my business at every week, and I want to make sure how I can adjust for that week. It is important for me to week by week know where I am at my target. Do I need to make different decisions? Do I need to change things? Do I need to up the tempo a little bit? I always ask myself the question, what's the fun element this week in my week? So in my team, how do I create fun? Do I've got a fun award, or do I've got a fun incentive? Do I have just something funny that I will post on a video? Just something that will bring a fun element into my business. I also want to make sure that there's something in the week for myself. Is there a time slot where I'm spending some time on myself, whether it will be to do my nails, maybe have a cup of coffee with my best friend, anything like that? And what will my business event for the week be? I need to have at least one business event for the week in every single one of my weeks to make sure that I'm staying ahead of my goals. And then I need to ask myself the question, do I need help? And what is the help that I need? When I look at my whole week's planning ahead, and especially when I'm now calm and I'm relaxed and I'm focused, I can easily identify the things that I need to do still later down the week. And I've got days ahead of me to make sure that that happens. If you would be doing this, you would have some tangible feedback to give to your mother team leader in the slide that will follow after this. Because one of the things that we always ask you is, how can I help you? Now, by knowing upfront the help that you need will allow your mother team leader to step up and help you. I'm also every week I'm assessing my fitness goals. I'm not a huge fitness fanatic, but I need to move my body because I want to live till I'm at least 99. So, and I intend to walk until I'm 99. So I've got fitness goals. If I know that I was maybe slacking a little bit last week, I need to pay attention this week and making sure that I'm not getting into a slacking habit or an attitude regarding my fitness or my eating habits. Then my reading and my development goals. I love reading, but sometimes the week goes past so fast that I never even touch my book. So I write myself a goal. My reading goal for the week is to finish chapter 5. If it's a book with short chapters, maybe I'm going to do two chapters a week. So I'm not really pushing myself to rush the book to the end, but I really want to make sure that I constantly feed something into my mind which is useful. And that at the end of my planning session, I have a look at all my activities that are in my calendar and I say to myself, does it match my destiny goals? Is every single item on my list that I'm doing, is it important? Is it going to bring me to my goals? And do I need to do it? And at that point, I make decisions whether I am going to delegate some things or maybe if I would decide not to do some things. And sometimes I will look at my planner at this stage of the week, and maybe I would see that I'm actually doing too much training and I'll skimp a little bit down on that, or I'll see that I haven't put enough effort into a certain aspect of my business, and I'll know upfront that I can now correct that instead of standing back at the end of next week and then realizing that I've actually dropped the ball in certain areas. Then it's about understanding your daily tasks, your weekly tasks, and tasks at your collection day. There's a couple of things that I do believe that you should do on a daily basis. It's not negotiable. You have to open your honey shop. Now, I open my shop every single morning, and I open it usually between 7 to 8 o'clock, depending on the day. But I love to open my shop basically at 7 o'clock. I post my things, and I know then at that point when I go take the kids back to school, my shop is open. Somebody are reading my comments while I'm stuck in traffic. I also make sure on a Monday that I do some extra effort with my team encouragement. I want to make sure on a Monday that my team are activated, that everybody is working, and that everybody know that my business doors are open. Orders obviously carry a high priority throughout the day, but at the end of the day, I want to calculate my daily orders and I calculate my daily payments. I want to see exactly if we have matched our daily target. So in my team, our daily target is 3,000 Rand per day, which means that every day we need to place orders for 3,000 and every day we need to pay to the value of 3,000. If I'm not keeping my eye on the daily order and payment target, I might run out of month before I got to the end of my budget. So I would hope that you would adopt it as well. And you will see that I'm actually a little bit later on going to share with you a suggested plan on how you can divide your days up to make sure that you get your target done day by day. Then recruiting activation, that's a very important part of my day. I make sure that I know if the new recruit has placed an order, if she has downloaded her app, if she is on my training, if she has got a question, I want to answer that. That is very important for me. And then we give a lot of attention to the 48-hour report. We don't want any order cancelled because very often within those cancelled orders lies quite a bit of your commission that you want to make sure that you secure. Then, did you do your social media post? Are you on social media? Are you updating your WhatsApp status? And then, are you confirming the orders for the day? Sometimes the day ran so quickly that at the end of the day, I just want to make sure that I confirmed everyone's order with them. That is very important for them to know that they can now go onto the app and pay. Then weekly tasks is I want to make sure that I schedule my training topics. I know exactly what I trained on last week. I write them down. And I've actually got a whole list that I do and I tick them as I go. So I don't want to train my team. I don't want to overtrain them on the same topics and then keep forgetting about something else that is different. So I've got a little list of training topics which I use and I want to make sure that I go through them continuously. I remind my team of incentives on a Monday. Mondays are big days in your business. I remind my team of an incentive and I want to update them and show them how close they are to achieving that. So I also do that in little tracking messages, and sometimes I will send it privately to them. Sometimes I'll do a consolidated one on my group. It all depends on how much time I've got available to do just that. I like to encourage people when times are hard. And when I know some of my sales consultants have got something in their life going on, I do take the extra time to send them a private message and to encourage them. Picking up on birthdays is important, so I make sure I post that on a weekly basis. And then feedback to your mother team leader, which we'll chat about just now. And then I want to review my current results every week because I don't want to be caught off guard. I want to know exactly where I am because I've got another week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks until month end comes to make sure that I can adjust some aspects in my business. Collection day is a day that I want to suggest that you become very organized with. So, up until now, maybe your team was a little bit small and you could actually get away by flunking the box of parcels in your car and off you go. But as your team grows, you need to understand that the opportunity to make mistakes becomes bigger. You need to understand who collects, where and when. You take time booking with Pargo or whichever company you are using to deliver your parcels with. And I also make sure that on collection day, I try to not mix collection day with any other home tasks. If your collection day takes you 3 hours to collect or to finish, or a full day, doesn't really matter what the time span of it is. Make sure it's focused and that you only do that for that moment because you might have little reminders or special requests and you don't want to miss that parcel going out with an extra order form or maybe a catalog or maybe somebody who asked for a favor. So make sure that you go through all your special requests. What we do is as we get a special request in our diary, in our order book, we highlight it. So at the end of every week when we pack our orders, we go through our diary and we make sure that we attend to every highlighted item before we start sealing parcels and put them in the car and start delivering them in whichever way. Also make sure that incentives and gifts goes out if you had a little lucky draw in the week. What I like to do is, I've learned this from one of my team leaders, is to have a item for the week for highest sales over a certain amount. So when it's the first 2 weeks of the month, they might be a little bit lower. Maybe they might be like over 800 Rand and they get something for free. It could be anything. It could literally be anything that you've got available that you can drive your sales. And maybe if it's closer to month end, you want to push that up to highest sales over 2,000 or 2,500, all depending on what your team turnover do. So I want to make sure that I take a picture of the gift being delivered to my sales consultant so that the rest of my team knows that if I say something is going to happen, they can trust me. It's going to happen. I want to know how I can add value. That is constantly my question is how can I add value? How can I help? Because I need to make sure that my team knows that they can rely on me. And query your mistakes. Handle your mistakes immediately. Um, Especially when you receive your parcel, make sure every parcel that is on your picking list is actually in there. You have only got 48 hours to query mistakes. Make sure you do that. And also, if you have credits, I do handle my credits daily. I don't let my credits heap up until the end of the week. Credits are time sensitive, and I need to make sure that I stay on top of them. So, what kind of a feedback would you give your mother team leader? So, let's say every 2 weeks, you just pop a small little message to your mother team leader or to your upline leader. And how are you going to remember to do this? You are going to start in the beginning of the month. You are going to start at the second week and at the fourth week. Those are the two key weeks that you need to feed back to your mother team leader. So, at the second and the fourth week, you need to write there feedback to mother team leader, and you just do a short little message. How you feel in general, how well your incentive is doing. So my message might go something like this. Hi, Gail. I'm actually feeling quite stressed about my business. My incentives doesn't seem to be working. I'm going to send it to you. Tell me if I did it wrong. I've got 3 recruits and not one has placed an order. However, I'm doing training dates on these and these, on these topics. What seems to be working for me is to do a lot of smaller weekly incentives instead of pushing for a big incentive. Can you please help me to shed light on my current problem? Or maybe I would be having a fantastic week and I would say, Hi, Gail, I'm actually feeling fantastic. My girls are raving about my incentive. 2 recruits done for the week, 2 activated, loads of training taking place. You know, I absolutely love my business and I don't really need any help from you. I just wanted to let you know that I'm doing great. That would be an amazing SMS for your upline leader to receive because sometimes we just need to know on which level we need to engage with you. So when I get these messages from my team leaders, it really makes me very effective because if they would say to me, I'm doing training on recruitment, can you help me with 1 or 2 slides? I know exactly where to go to my slides and I can assist them with those little bit of training material needed. And then I do monthly planning. I usually do my monthly planning at least a week before month end. And then by month end, I will just tweak it a little bit. But it's about preempting, it's about rolling the 1 month into the other, the 1 week into the other week. It's about never getting to the point where I stop. So once a month, I print out this little document and I sit and I go through my dashboard. And I want to make sure that I know exactly who's in my team. I need to know which events I'm planning. I need to know exactly what I'm going to do. And I need to know that upfront. I can't post my incentive for the new month only by the 10th of the month. I need to post it on the 1st of the month. So this is the whole idea about planning, is that you are constantly thinking ahead, but you're thinking in the future, but you are working in the now. And on this bonus plan, you would be able or you would actually be sitting and plotting quite a couple of information sessions that needs to take place over the course of the month. You need to have a date where you can meet your mentor or your upline leader. And sometimes that might actually happen in a face-to-face connection, or maybe it would actually happen in a Zoom session or a WhatsApp call. And again, here, leaders, butterflies, you don't have to wait for your mother team leader to set a session with you. Take the initiative and book one with her. It is important that the communication stays open between you and your mother team leader and that you communicate on a regular basis. Then I want to suggest that you book a general catch-up day in your month. So this is definitely applicable to you if you are working a full day. and you're doing honey part-time. 1 day a month. And most of the time, the best day to do that would be around the month end Saturday, the one that's closest to the end of the month, whether it's the last weekend of the month or the first one of the month. But it would be very clever for you to take this general catch up day, make sure that the kids are maybe having play dates. Husband is playing golf or going out with his buddies. But when you have this catch up day, it will give you a lot of calmness. It will make you feel a lot more in control, and you'll feel accomplished. And this day, you will make sure that all the promises that you try to keep throughout the month are actually done. And you might even throw in a load of washing or two while you are doing that. Have a mid-month checkpoint around the 15th of the month to just reassess where you are at. Are you ahead? Are you behind? What do you need to adjust? This would definitely be the point. Remember where I said mid-month, or week 2 and week 4 would be the days or the weeks that you would send that feedback to your mother team leader. Then dress for success would be something where you'll go out, you'll dress up, you'll take your beautiful honey handbag and shoes. You'll be out on the town and you will be posting on social media and you'll be out there meeting new people. You need to meet new people. You need to add clients to your database, sales consultants to your database, and you need to be out there looking for your next style station. Also, up on your calendar would be meet your achievers, making sure that you are spending your time with those that brings the largest amount of your turnover. I usually look at my top 5 to top 10 sales consultants, and I want to make sure in one way or the other that I at least connect with 3 or 4 of them every single month. I want to make sure that I've got a pop up event where I can showcase my business, my product, my opportunity, my face. I'm building my brand at charity and community events. And also, you want to spend some time, if you're very active on social media, to do proper social media content planning. And then you will need to look at your training schedule. You need to know what topics you are going to train, and you need to decide upfront which mediums you are going to use. I try on every given month to use multiple mediums. So some of my training would be the normal WhatsApp where I'll do a post and a voice note. Some of them I will use a recording like this. I want to do face-to-face one-on-ones. I want to do WhatsApp calls. So I'm really trying to have a whole mix so that I don't lose my people. When I see there's a breakthrough event coming up, I want to make sure I know exactly what is the aim of the event, what is the message that's going to be relayed. Can I bring people to be encouraged? If you want to have your next sales station, your next team leader, having that aha moment, it is at the next breakthrough event. So make sure you know where they are and that you can access them. And then it is about me. In my planning, I want to make sure that after I have covered all the aspects of my business, that I've got time to meet somebody who can inspire me. If I'm not attending a business function, I want to try and at least have coffee with somebody in my area or out of my area who are either doing honey or not doing honey. Because even if I rub shoulders with people that are in the network marketing industry, I know that they can give me valuable feedback that would help me to reassess and adjust my sales to catch the wind. So let's have a look at your business plan. You have to have a solid business plan with a recruitment, training, and a recognition plan. And the reason why we say you need to have these things in your plan is to ensure that your team grows. If you don't recruit, which we've already addressed, your team will not grow. If you are not training the people that you have recruited, then they would never start selling. If there's not something in it for them apart from getting their commission, they would not feel the honey magic, and they would definitely not upgrade their status into the world of honey. And that is what you want to have happen. But let's look at the business plan of having a 50,000 Rand turnover, because remember, we have been speaking all the time, and we said that we want you to build your team so that you level out at least at about 50,000 Rand at the point that you promote as a team leader. We are going to encourage you to bring one new style station at least so that she can be trained. So the moment you are promoted to team leader status, you've already got a style station. Because remember, from the moment you are a team leader, turnover is everything. Your budget is everything. From there on, if you don't make your minimum turnover of 25,000 Rand, you do not get 1 cent commission. You do not fall back on a style station commission. So it's very important that we help you to build your business larger than what Honey requires so that we can know that you've got a comfortable business that brings the honey pots to you every single month. Then I am supplying you of this little business plan. And you will see in the beginning weeks of the business plan, we have actually brought the daily target down to about 800 Rand a month, a day. Remember, that is that 800 Rand where you have to bring both the payment and the orders in there. So what I do is I print this out, I put it onto my desk, and every day I cross down from the one corner to the other one if we made the target, and then another line cross down from the other side if we've made a payment plan. And in that way, it helps me to visualize how my month is coming together. Obviously, you'll see on a Sunday I'm resting, but I know on Monday those orders will double up and it will help me to catch up on the days that I might have fallen behind. So this is basically like playing bingo by yourself, but it will ensure you to help you to keep your business on track. And then I just want to finalize my session with a couple of small pointers. I think the most important thing is communicate clearly. You have to understand that all the information that you are receiving from Honey is not always needed for you to send to your team. Don't just hit the forward button. Take time to read, take time to absorb, and say to yourself, is this information for me or is it information for my sales consultant? Sales consultants have got a far lower commitment to reading information than we do. So sometimes when we get informed that there's only 10 left of an item or this is a hot item, I sometimes don't even send it out because I also know how much communication I already sent out to my team for the day. So communicate to your team only what is needed. Less is always better. Handle all your queries immediately. Make sure you listen to your sales consultant or to the client that you are dealing with, and make sure you listen to understand. Sometimes we can make the mistake that we listen to respond. So listen to understand and then handle the query with the relevant persons only. So if you would need to send an email to Honey, don't CC in the whole world. Sometimes you just need to CC in one person at Honey and only your mother team leader if you really feel that she needs to know about this. But if it's something that you feel comfortable with handling, don't CC her in because at the end of the day, all these emails just accumulate to such a massive amount of people that all has an opinion. So I like to keep my inbox clean and I want to make sure I handle it with a relevant person only and I give them all the information. I always, before I hit the send button on my email, I ask myself, is there any more information I give? I'm not writing an essay, but I want to know on my query, is the invoice there? Is the code there? Is the price there? Do they understand what needs to happen? It is easy for me to send those emails. I get my resolutions very quickly because they can action it in one go. Then understand all your communication. I'm going to challenge you to start setting yourself a target to read your email early in the morning and read your email again in the afternoon. If it's not really necessary for you to read your emails all the time, but it is important that if there's an email coming, that you do read it and you do understand it. The biggest mistakes you can make is to look at the topic of an email and think you know what it says. I've made that mistake so many times, so don't do that. Take your notebook or take your calendar and make relevant notes while you are reading it. Remember, we have got a rule that we handle every item only once. It goes for emails too. So as I'm sitting and I'm reading my email, I've got my calendar in front of me, so I know exactly when the catalogs can be ordered. I know exactly when a long weekend is happening. I need to know all those things all the time because sometimes I can really struggle to find that email with the information on. So rather, let's handle it once. And then my very last note to you is to ask for help. Sometimes it's difficult to change the concept into a plan. Sometimes it's difficult to understand how to take something that you've planned and make it real in your team. So ask, ask, ask. Ask your upline leader, ask your friend, ask the fellow people in your group. I know all of we are part of smaller groups. Make sure you ask your buddy. Get yourself a business buddy if you don't have one. because I feel very often asking my business buddy is easier than asking my mother team leader. Attend as much as you can. We do bring you a lot of training. We bring you a lot of training all the time. And there's a reason for that. I always, regardless if I know the topic off by heart, I attend training as much as you do. I sit with my notebook. I've got my honey journal, which is my notebook, and I make notes. I'm not going to rely on the images being sent to me later on. I want to make a note of that which is sparking something in my mind right now. And if at the end of the session I need to ask for help, I know exactly what it is. So I just want to encourage you to focus on the things that you can do, that you can, and to let go of the things that you can't. If you have done all the planning and life still happens, I want to encourage you that it will not rattle you. Having a very structured business will serve you well. It will not make you tired. It will make you feel accomplished. And I promise you, just as you spend time tonight going through the session, I promise you it will reward and it will repay you when you go through the motions of planning your business and making sure that certain aspects are put into place to bring success and order for you in this business.